Hi, my name is Lindsay Birch, and I am the artistic director at the Sophia home of the B Street Theater, and I am the director of the upcoming production of Charade, adapted by Dave Perini. Well, for the B Street audiences, some of the favorites of the past include shows like Around the World in 80 Days and 39 Steps. And this adaptation that Dave has written based on the classic film featuring Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn is very much in keeping with that style. You have 5 incredible actors playing all the parts in this film. It's got comedy, it's got mystery, it's got suspense. It really has all of those things that make up a thrilling night of theater. And I think the style in which it's told will be very appealing to B Street audiences because it's something that they've seen before, enjoyed before, and frankly, it's something that our actors excel in, which is switching these characters very quickly, making big, bold choices that really distinguish each of the characters and help tell the story. So I'm excited for our audiences and hopefully broader audiences to see it because I feel like this is truly a B Street show. This is something that you can only see here. You know, Charade was a bit different. A lot of plays call for highly specific casting, and some plays it can be very open casting. We have 2 actors, Dana and Jahi, who are essentially they play the same roles the whole time, and it was really key to get people who they're both company members who we could trust to really carry such a big show. They play the couple, essentially the will they won't they couple of the romantic comedy portion of the script. But then with the other 3 roles, which are played by Dave Perini, Elizabeth Nunziato, and Stephanie Alfoltz, those roles are more flexible. You know, a lot of them, they could be played by anyone of any demographic, even different genders. Some of them are playing women and men. But really what we needed for this production was actors who can embody characters fully. So we look for people who, you know, are certain types, but they can play anything. And we came to Elizabeth, Dave, and Stephanie because they're so multi-talented. They can play so many characters. They'll just, you know, go as far as they can with whatever's asked of them. And that part, the multiple roles, is really the high comedy and the high stakes of the piece. And so I'm really pleased with the cast that we have. 5 company members who are just knocking it out of the park. Well, I mean, you know, that's definitely a question for Dave on the writing side. However, I can speak to the production side. It is a challenge, right? Because movies are 2+ hours long with multiple scenes that are cut to, and theater just doesn't work like that. If you want to go to a different location that has different scenery and things like that, you have to move it into place. You know, it's not a jump cut from a camera. So one of the things we focused on in rehearsal was making this production very seamless and fluid, so that the audience is not sitting through scene changes, because that's not very filmic. So even if there is a scene change happening, there's also something else happening on stage that's still telling the story. And of course, as I was telling you and some of the staff, we're really utilizing projections to give this stage adaptation a sort of film-like quality in terms of locations and special effects, if you will. And I mean, the show it's a huge show. There's over 800 cues, and that sort of shows what happens when you take film and you put it on stage, is it can be highly technically involved. And you know, I would say, you know, smaller plays very much just to focus on the actors, but the technical elements of this piece really are an integral part of the storytelling. And I think that's what happens when you want to put a movie on stage, because films, a huge part of the team is the editor and the sound designer, and that's and you know, the cinematographer, and where's the focus. And so all those elements kind of come into play when you put a film on stage. Well, we typically rehearse. We're a professional theater, which means that all the actors that we hire are members of the Actors Equity Association Union, which governs, their compensation as well as how many hours they can work. So we typically rehearse Tuesday to Sunday, and the hours are 10 to 6 with a 1 hour break for lunch. And so basically that totals about 42 hours a week. It definitely is a full-time job. And then when you get into technical rehearsals, you're permitted additional hours. And just to give some perspective, the technical rehearsals for this show, which took place over the course of about 5 days, totaled 36 hours of time. So it's about an entire week just to add all the elements of scenic, projection, sound, lighting, costumes for a show of this size. And then we have previews where the audience gets to come and give us their feedback, which is always very helpful. And we rehearse during that as well. And then they go on to do the run, which is, 7 shows a week. And it is, one of the marks of a professional theater is that it is full-time work for the actors. And that's something that's really important to us, is they can have a full-time job here in Sacramento. It's not, just evening or anything like that. It is full-time rehearsing, like a 9 to 5. I think, so I watched the dress run last night, and I've seen this play in its form, in its rehearsal form, multiple times, but I was just so entertained by what I was watching. And of course, that's saying something from someone who's watching it with a critical eye of the things that still need to be fixed before it's ready to be opened and performed in front of an audience. I think the actors are just so talented and charming, and I think that this play has all the elements that make live entertainment, or just entertainment in general, so much fun. You've got your romance, your comedy, your mystery, your suspense, some danger, and it's all just really coming together very nicely. And I think that's what I'm excited for audiences to see. And I expect and really hope that people will come away feeling like that was an exciting full night of theater. And I think it also shows the diversity of the programming that B Street has. It's completely different from Proclivity for Kiting or Great Migration, and it's going to be completely different from Love and Baseball. And I think that's another thing audiences can expect from B Street, is we're going to just switch it up and give you something new and exciting every time. Well, we've got our next 2 productions coming up in 2022, the last 2 of the calendar year, Love and Baseball, written by Jerry Montoya, and our holiday production of The Lost Clause, written by Buck Busfield and Dave Perini, definitely an original B Street holiday show. And we're so excited that we'll be announcing the 2023 Main Stage and Family Series seasons on August 20th at 7:00 p.m. This is the first season that I, with the help of our amazing staff here, have selected, and I'm very excited to share it with all of you. Of course, it will include Brokology, but there's many things that I think are going to be exciting for our audiences, and I can't wait to share with you what we've got planned.